Well, hi, my channel viewers. This is Honest Jim again. Let me pull this up a little closer here. We're always working on the adjustments for this. Okay, there we are. Hi, channel viewers. This is Honest Jim, and I have something special to say today. I had scheduled a different video for my viewers today, but something happened 2 days ago that I saw that made me change my mind because I think it's really important to look at it and to talk about it. The headline in the Bangkok Post 2 days ago, today's Friday here, was it the 25th of 2025? I think it's the 25th. I could be wrong. I often am. But anyway, the headline in the Bangkok Post said, China cancels 2,000 flights to Thailand. And the first thing that caught my eye was, who's China? Well, isn't there somebody there like Biden cancels or Trump cancels or Xi cancels? That's Xi in Chinese, and the X is pronounced like an S. Xi. He's the leader of China. Now, I don't know what he did. Obviously, we're not being told who did it, but we're being told why. The cover story is, now I have three different opinions, alleged. I'm a retired attorney. Everything's alleged, and it's just my opinion. But I have three different tales to tell about this scenario on this. And I think for you that this is a worldwide concern. It isn't just Thailand. And you'll see why when I get into the second reason. So the first reason in the cover story is that we're getting is that this highly popular fellow, I forget his name, Wu or Wang or something, God bless him, was on the Myanmar border, which is in total civil war. He's down there on the Myanmar border, and he gets bagged, and apparently hundreds of thousands of people have been bagged in the past on the Myanmar border, and by the Yakuza. Spencer's mom calls it Yakuza, which she's being told on the Thai news, are mafia. And they're being compelled to work at trafficking as slaves in the telecom business. Now, first of all, that's a hell of a lot of telephones. Second of all, what are they all doing on the Myanmar border? Especially when it's heavily patrolled by the Thai police and the army. I just have to wonder about this whole story. And plus, he got freed up a few days later. Whoa, we got this superstar from China. We got to let him go. There's too much heat coming. So that's the story. And let's see what occurred both in China and Thailand because of this cover story. Number one, 2,000 flights were canceled a few days before the golden holiday. The Chinese have about a week off, which is, I think, occurring now. Certainly started a few days ago. Husbands, fathers, brothers, uncles, aunts, and nephews, women, and children were coming to Thailand. About 600,000 of them. I could be off a little bit by a few thousand people, but I think I'm close. 2,000 flights on China Airways, and they're all going to fly back on Thai Airways, maybe China Airways. How much money has to be refunded? Because China canceled the flights. Who has the power to do that? And then the report goes on to say, the cover story goes on to say that, well, it's the tour groups mostly canceled. Well, the tour groups got the word from China to cancel the flights. They continued and said that the independent travelers basically weren't affected. So if you're one of your family members didn't decide to go on a tour, I don't know how their flight was not canceled, but everybody else's flight was canceled. They probably all fly together in the same airplane. So I don't know what sense the story makes if you read it. But the real question is, this hotel cancellations in Thailand, airplane ticket refunds. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars because China decided that we're not going to have a Golden Week down in Thailand. Now, I don't know, you know, what the real reality of this is, but I do know that when the government does something all over the world, every country that I've been experienced in, when they do something, there's a reason for it. And I tell my son over and over, my mantra, I'm 77, I'm going to be 78 in April. My mantra is twofold. Number one, everybody wants your money. Number two, follow the money and you'll find the truth. And it's always worked for me. So let's look at the first one. Everybody wants your money. China, how are they going to make some money out of this? I don't know, I'm puzzled. But my second theory will cover some of that. So anyway, I think I've exhausted that. I don't know why they canceled it. It cost everybody a lot of money. It ruined the vacations for so many Chinese people. And Thailand took a hit. And they blamed the Thai police and the Thai government for not enforcing the Myanmar border. Well, let's see. If I'm going to go to Thailand for a week and I got a hotel, am I going to take my family and go to the Myanmar border? What the hell's to see there? Huh? You know, why don't you just get the word out to the people that are coming here on holiday? Don't go there. Don't go there. Instead of ruining their vacations. Okay, so that's the cover story. You think about it, okay, because I have. Number two, the virus, the new virus, the one we aren't really being told all about. And I have a personal gripe about this from China. Because when the COVID came out, I remember I was living in Olympia, Washington. It's about 40 miles from Seattle with my son. He was going to a great school. Everything was fine. We had rented a house and we were going to be there, you know, for the duration and live in America. So I find out in the news that this Chinese man flew out of China to Seattle. He was so sick when he got off the plane that they immediately evacuated him by ambulance to the hospital. 3 days later, he died in the hospital. This guy was really sick and should have never been on that plane in the first place, leaving China. Okay? And right now, people didn't know too much about COVID. It was a lot like the flu, which is what we're being told now about this new virus in China. It's a lot like the flu. Don't worry about it. People are recovering. Well, you do the math on that one, okay? I leave it up to you. But I'm wearing a mask, and I'm not going to be around any Chinese people right now that come into Thailand for business, holiday, diplomacy, or ambassadors or anything, because I don't trust them. To continue on, this man died, but in the meantime, he infected a lot of people on the plane. He infected a lot of people in the hospital because people didn't know about it. And also, about the same time, New York City and Houston, some of the major cities in our country, also had Chinese people coming in. But the word I got after looking at it is it started in Seattle. For the next 9 months or a year, I don't know how long it went on, and 1,200,000 deaths later of American citizens. Meantime, his school was completely closed, and they set up a Zoom program, but it took about a month to do it and get it to work. And he's sitting at the sofa in the living room trying to communicate with a teacher, and he has no social integration with his friends, which is an important part of school. You know, how you learn how to socialize and behave with your fellow man, no matter what country you're in. So we're sitting there, and he doesn't go out of the house for like months and months. There were some kids playing basketball across the street, 2 little boys on the driveway towards the end of this thing, and he wanted to go over and play basketball with them, and I said, no, I was afraid. I was afraid, as many, many people were. So I would go to the Safeway grocery store once a week. We made a list, and I would cook in the house, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I would go to the doctor once in a while. And I'm talking about months and months. That's all the integration I had with the outside of my front door. Okay, and we lived, we made it. Okay, so this story about it's like the flu, and don't worry about it, and all that stuff might be true. Could be. You know, what is this new virus? What the hell is going on in China? We got a whole new virus, and it's like the flu, and blah blah blah. And we're canceling 2,000 flights, and we're keeping 600,000 people home. And remember Italy? Remember what happened to Italy when this broke out? The first coronavirus broke out. Thousands of Chinese tourists went to Italy. Thousands of them, and there was no restriction and no quarantine, no nothing. And they infected a lot of Italian people. They had huge amounts of deaths because these Chinese people, a lot of them who were infected with this flu, killed them. They had a terrible problem. If you don't believe me, Google it. So anyway, getting back to that, that's my thought on number two. That China, whoever that is trying to keep this new disease from spreading. Because last time with coronavirus, China caught a lot of flack worldwide by world leaders for a year about being negligent. And also, was it the monkeys or was it the China labs that created that disease? So if you think China stopped, if you think China stopped messing with the DNA or whatever it is they mess with that creates these new and unknown diseases that kill millions and millions of humans, don't bet against it because I doubt that they stopped doing the research, and maybe China has let a new disease that's just like the flu get out the door. So be vigilant, people all over the world, whoever's watching this. Share it, tell people about it. That's my second theory. All right, theory number three. Moving on. Follow the money. About 2 weeks ago, there was an article in the papers over here. I don't know if anybody saw it in England or Australia or America or Germany or anywhere else, but we saw it here in the Thai newspaper, Thai news, that the richest family in China had flown the coop. And I suppose they must have had a 727 or a 747, a very large airplane, because the story was that they took all their furniture, all their assets, and all the Chinese love gold. So I assume that they had a lot of gold, and maybe some paper money, jewels, everything of value they had that they couldn't nail down. They put on this great big airplane, and they flew away to Vancouver, Canada. Now, this is, if you look at this and this story, it's astounding. You're seeing that China has gone from a recession to a depression, and this is not a video about, their economics in China, but they're in dire straits. People are running away, and more so than when that story came out. When you're in China, and let's say you're worth, a couple $1 million, and you see the number one guy has flown the coop in this big plane, he took his furniture, and flew to Canada. What are you thinking with your kids and your wife and your furniture? Huh? You get worried, all right? So the articles I've been seeing in the last week are lots of people are leaving China with their assets, getting the hell out of there. So China decides that 2,000 flights cannot leave China because of this Myanmar border problem, and everybody's being enslaved, and telecom problems and all that, and the Thai government isn't doing enough, and blah blah blah. Okay, so that's number three. I think you put 600,000 Chinese and a lot more that are traveling maybe by train or by bus. China's real close to Thailand. They can get here without being on an airplane. And they could be planning to come next week after Golden Week. They could be coming a lot of ways. And, I don't know, they could strap their furniture onto the top of the bus, I guess. I don't know. But if I was living in China and I saw the number, and I had some wherewithal, and I saw what was happening in China, they have basically, because of their security concerns and spying concerns, basically gutted the economy. Alibaba has been canceled. That's their Amazon. That's something cent. I forget, 10 cent or 1 cent or something has been canceled. Japan's pulled all their car companies out of there. Apple's uh, opening up some of their manufacturing in Vietnam and I think some in Thailand. Everybody's bailing because the Chinese now, with this new security laws, can come into the corporate offices and just commandeer your computers and take them and start looking through all your stuff. Now, the idea in my mind is that they're not really looking for spies. I think they're looking for data. I think they're looking to steal. New plans for Apple, new plans for the car companies, new ideas and new theories so they can copy them. But that's just my idea. Now, all of this is alleged. For the record, it's alleged, and it's just my opinion. But that's all I have to say now. We'll see how these stories develop. But you do the math, okay? I've written it down on a piece of paper, and you study it, and you make the decision. And please comment. And by the way, I have been getting comments from people, my viewers. They're saying, Jim, mention to subscribe, mention to like, mention to comment. You know, you're not talking about it. You're telling great stories. A lot of people love it. One guy, I don't know who he was, but I really appreciate whoever you are. If you're out there, your name escapes my mind right now, but a lot of things do because I'm 77, so that's nothing new. But he said, I love your work. That made me really, really happy. I mean, somebody loves my work. There's been a couple of people's comments that have been a little barbaric, but you know, that's okay. I am me, and I'm old, and I don't care. I'm going to continue to talk about all sorts of things, right? And this is one today. And I've got another video coming out probably in 3 or 4 days that I had scheduled, which is interesting, all right? So look, that's all I have to say. You do the math. God bless you, and follow the money. Aloha.